Welcome students. Today we will start with class 6, chapter 3, the Mesopotamian civilization, part 1. Objectives. In today's session we will learn about meaning and location of Mesopotamia, why it was known as the civilization of the crescent, what do we mean by city-states, what kind of social system, occupation and trade was prevalent in the Mesopotamian civilization? What were the architectural structures invented by the Mesopotamians?
First, we will discuss about its location and origin. Mesopotamia in modern Iraq had an advanced civilization. It developed around 3500 BCE and flourished till about 500 BCE. Mesopotamia means the land between two rivers. The two rivers were the Tigris and the Euphrates, which rose in the mountains of Turkey and flow through Syria and Iraq and finally pour into the Persian Gulf. The large fertile land between these two rivers was called Mesopotamia. This region gave rise to one of the world's earliest civilization known as the Mesopotamian civilization. It is also known as the civilization of the crescent. Now here the question comes that why it is called a crescent. So here is the answer. The two rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates, flow parallel to each other, which help in the deposition of fertile soil on the banks of the rivers. This fertile area between two rivers form a crescent shape, or we can say a curved shape. That's why we call it as the civilization of the crescent, which extends from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean Sea. Here in the image given, you can see the crescent shape of the fertile region. The northern region was called Babylonia. The central region was called Akkad. The southernmost part of Mesopotamia was called Sumer. It was the heart of this civilization and one of the highly developed and advanced area. Next comes the highland in the north. They were called Assyria. This region was first ruled by the Sumerians before being taken by the Babylonians and the Assyrians. The splendor, or we can say the magnificent beauty of this civilization lasted till about 539 BCE when Cyrus of Persia conquered this kingdom. Our next topic is city-states. In the Mesopotamian civilization, there were many city-states. Each city of Mesopotamia was the capital of a small state. Each city controlled areas of several hundred square kilometers. They were independent, had their own legal codes, and were strongly defended as they were having continuous wars with their neighbors for power and resources, which led to the destructions in due course of time. The whole civilization was also under the constant threat of invasion from the nomadic, or we can say from the wandering tribes from the desert. The main cities of Mesopotamia were Babylon, Uruk, Eridu, Lagash and Ur. Now we move on to our next topic, that is town planning. Each city was divided into three main parts: the sacred area, the walled city on the mountain, and the outer town. We can see the three divisions in the given picture. One is the sacred area or ziggurat, second is the walled city on the mount, and third is the outer town. The sacred area had a ziggurat or temple tower dedicated to city's chief god. Each city had their own chief god. Ziggurat or temple tower was built on a mount or a rectangular structure with a base of mud bricks that were 50 feet high. These ziggurats were multi-story structures decorated with tiles, precious stones and marbles. The smaller temples in the ziggurat were dedicated to other gods. These ziggurats were massive and could be seen for miles around the city. The sacred part of the city was also the administrative center where the storehouses and offices were located. The temple towers were also used as observatories, schools, granaries, and trade centers. Though the cities were grand, they were not very well planned. The streets were narrow and often littered with rubbish. Most houses had a central courtyard with rooms around. One room houses were used by artisans. Mud, reed, and palm trees. These were the raw materials used for building purpose, which were available in plenty in this region. Later on, people began to use bricks that were fired in kilns. Our next topic is Mesopotamian society. The Mesopotamian society was divided into three hierarchical classes. The upper class included the members of the royal family, priests, high officials, and scribes, or we can say writers. The middle class consisted of the farmers, artisans, traders, and laborers. The lower class consisted of slaves. The slaves were the soldiers of the defeated kingdom. The constant fighting in the region made the army very important. All free citizens had to serve in the army. Next topic is the role of the kings in Mesopotamian society. The king was the most important person in society. He was regarded as God's representative on earth. The priest kings who first ruled Mesopotamia were not having absolute power, nor their position was hereditary. This meant that the son of the king would not automatically become the next king. However, in the course of time, the king came to be seen as God, and it was his duty to defend the city against enemies. The king was also responsible for the building of canals, roadways, for irrigation and for transport, and above all, the king was responsible for the administration of justice and the protection of the poor. Our next topic is occupations. Being a river valley civilization, agriculture was the main occupation of the people. They grow different crops like wheat, barley, pulses, fruits and vegetables. Since there was very little rainfall in the region, the Mesopotamians devised an advanced system of perennial irrigation, wherein canals would carry water throughout the year. They also dug basins to store rainwater, canals to carry water to the fields. The width of these canals made them navigable. These canals were used to transport goods and people. The ox-drawn plough and wheeled carts, these were the two inventions that helped in the growth of agriculture in Mesopotamia. In the first image given here, you can see the canals, and in the second pic, you can see a farmer using a ox-drawn plough. Move on to our next topic, trade and commerce. The merchants of Mesopotamia carried on extensive trade with foreign countries. Some adventurous merchants led their caravans west across the desert to the Mediterranean coast, all through the mountains of the east. Many of these merchants crossed the Arabian Sea to trade with countries along the eastern coast of Africa. They exported food grains, wool and textiles mainly to the Mediterranean countries and Egypt, and they used to import copper, lead and precious metals. From India especially, they used to import timber and luxury goods like ivory, pearls, spices, shells and silks. Mesopotamian seals, or we can say stamps, have been found in the Indus Valley, which shows there was a flourishing trade between the two civilizations. An efficient transport system was needed for their flourishing trade. This led to the invention of wheeled carts and kilaks. Wheeled carts were used for transporting goods and people over the land area, while kilaks were used to carry goods along the canals. Kilaks, these were rafts made of logs of wood tied together and bound up by inflated skins. Next topic is art and architecture. The architecture of this civilization is considered to have been outstanding. All the cities had big public buildings and parks. The ruins of the Mari Palace in western Mesopotamia show that the palace grounds covered several acres and had hundreds of rooms, some of which were decorated with wall paintings. The city's gates, palaces, and temples were glittered with glazed brickwork in red, blue, yellow, and cream color. The most important thing here, the Mesopotamians, they are believed to be the first to use architectural structures like arch, columns, and domes in their buildings. They were also skilled in metallurgy and carpentry. Metal statues adorning temples, gold and silver ornaments, silver harps, golden helmets, and beautiful wooden furniture inlaid with precious stones have been found in Ur, the city of Mesopotamia. The another important architectural structure of the Mesopotamian civilization was the Hanging Garden of Babylon. It was built by Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II for his queen Amytis because she missed the hills and forests of her home in Media, Persia. They were called hanging gardens because they were constructed high above the ground on split level stone terraces. According to one of the legend, broad arched bridges were erected above the palace and different types of trees and plants were grown on them. As the time passed, the plants grew and covered the bridges and arches until finally the garden seemed to hang in mid-air. According to some historians, they have not found any written or archaeological evidence for this place.